Honor to be here with you today to really recognize the service that so many of you give, and I look around this room, I see the leaders of this community, but to recognize the service that all of you give on this particular issue, recognizing that as we talk about our mothers and our sisters and our wives and our daughters, the silent killer that heart disease is, the leadership that's been shown in this city by dedicated public servants and community leaders in raising awareness on this issue is so important. As a son of a fabulous mother, as a father of two incredible daughters, as a wife as a husband of an awesome wife who just walked in, has been working her tail off the last several days. I'm happy she's able to be here. It's an honor to be here today with you at the 2016 National Wear the Red Day press conference. I appreciate the fact that Mrs. Devine allows me to pretend I'm in charge here today. It's to join, for me and Mr. Davis, Councilman Davis, and our city manager, to join Tamika, and I want to be very specific. Tamika Devine has been a leader on this issue. I mean, carrying the banner, leading for the last several years. We're so very proud of her leadership and her efforts in being creative and making this interesting and engaging people, simply for the purpose of raising awareness so we can take care of ourselves and our loved ones so much better. I'm very happy to serve as the very brief intro to our real welcome Mistress of Ceremonies, the Honorable Tamika Isaac Devine. All right.
Thank you, Mayor Benjamin, and welcome everyone. Y'all look amazing. And I want to thank you so much for being here for yet again our recognition of National Go Red Day. And I will tell you that, just go back a little bit to what the mayor said, I don't take for granted the people taking time out of their busy schedules to join us here today. And I don't take for granted the support of my colleagues, Mr. Davis and Mayor Benjamin, and our city staff, our city manager and city staff to support these efforts. I will tell you that so many times people look at the city and say, well, how is that a basic city service? And why should the city be involved in raising awareness of heart disease and domestic violence and reading to kids? Well, I'll tell you why we should be important, why it should be important to us. 1 in 3 women are affected by heart disease. And 80% of heart disease and stroke that happens is preventable. So when you talk about the things that the city needs to be in charge of, or not in charge of, but involved in, I can't think of anything more important than raising awareness, and then not just raising awareness, but putting efforts behind the prevention of something that we can prevent, and we can make sure that our citizens have healthy lives. And so sometimes it seems, oh wow, this is great, a nice little press conference, photo event, but this is very important because, as you know, and Valerie will probably talk about it a little bit, there's so much we can do together as a community to raise awareness and prevent heart disease so that our mothers and our sisters and our daughters and our aunts and our friends, our sister girls, are not dying or having to get pacemakers and other things because of things that are preventable. Because we as women, we like to take care of other people. And it's time that we raise awareness about how we take care of ourselves so that we can continue to take care of other people. And so I'm honored to be just the one person up here in the city, but without the support of Mr. Davis and Mayor Benjamin, we wouldn't be able to be here and do this and continue to do this year after year and have efforts to not only raise awareness, but also starting last year and continue on, going to be raising money for the American Heart Association. And so I'm so proud of our partnership, and I thank them so much for being here, and I thank you all for being here, because your awareness here, or your presence here, not only brings awareness, but it sends a strong message that when we say and we hashtag Columbia Goes Red or Go Red Midlands or whatever hashtags we're going to be using, we're going to be trending on Twitter all day long. And people are going to see that the City of Columbia knows that not only is this important, but it's imperative that we continue to bring awareness around this issue and do things that make our families healthier. So with that said, it is my esteemed honor and privilege to be able to recognize Ms. Valerie Bridges, who is the Executive Director for the Midlands American Heart Association. So Valerie, would you come forward, please?
Good afternoon. We are so honored to be here today, and to just see this sea of red is just so special to us as employees of the American Heart Association. Getting the message out there is so important, so thank you for being here. As Tamika said, heart disease is the #1 killer of women, and 16 South Carolinian women die every day from heart disease. Like she said, what's staggering is that 80% of this is preventable. So what we do is we try to make people aware of heart disease and stroke, like events like this, like National Go Red Day, to get people in check with their heart health and take care of themselves and not just focus on their families and everyone else that they're taking care of. Go Red for Women was designed a few years back to spread awareness, to encourage women to know their numbers, know their heart health, and to honestly advocate for policies that would improve these statistics, because they're pretty staggering statistics. We are so thankful for you all coming here today and to show your support to Tamika. She is such a valuable asset to the Midlands AHA, and we appreciate all that you do. And also thank you, Mayor Benjamin, for doing this today. Thank you.
Thank you, Valerie. As an employer in the City of Columbia takes pride in making sure that we are also not just talking the talk, but we're walking the walk. And at the City of Columbia, I will tell you that we are so honored and blessed to have a fabulous city manager who puts the needs of her staff first, because she knows once her staff is healthy and once her staff is happy, they are providing services to the constituency of the City of Columbia, that they work hard, that the absentee rate is down, and that our citizens are happy because our staff is providing the services not just providing the services that they're hired to do, but providing exemplary service throughout the cities, throughout the Midlands. And so it is my honor to present the city manager of the City of Columbia, Ms. Teresa Wilson.
Well, I am always having to be, called up on the spot, because I truly look forward to this day every year to really sit back and see the wonderful work that Ms. Devine has done all year, along with her council colleagues and Mayor Benjamin. But she's exactly right. This cause is near and dear to me personally for many reasons, but it also is something that I think is what is the right thing to do as an employer, to make sure that we bring recognition and awareness to heart disease on a daily basis at the City of Columbia, by making sure that our employees are healthy, have opportunities to exercise, work out, and really just encourage each other, because unfortunately many of our employees have had to deal with the issue in their families or personally, and so we want to make sure that we continuously bring awareness. I want to make sure that I recognize my mother, who is one of the #1 supporters of my father, who has dealt with heart disease over his lifetime. And so as a woman, not only do we find ourselves being the caregiver oftentimes and taking care of our family members, but we also need to, as this cause today with the Go Red for Women suggests, we need to make sure we're doing the right things to take care of ourselves. And so my mom helps take care of me in the job that I do, and helping me on a daily basis. And I know that all of you have supporters in your family who you need to help take care of, but we want to ring the bell to say, please take care of yourselves. And we are here as a city to support that effort. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson, so much. And before I go with the proclamation, I just wanted to recognize a few people in the audience. I will say that we've got our city manager and Mayor Benjamin. Mayor Benjamin mentioned Councilman Davis, but I'd like Councilman Davis to please stand. I saw some gentlemen downstairs saying, oh, that's just a ladies' event. And this is not just a ladies' event. Councilman Davis is here every year with us, and we thank you so much for your support. We also have, I will have my mom, so I would like to ask my mom to please stand, Ms. Veronica Isaac. And then I know that we have several groups represented, and I don't want to get in trouble to single out them, but I will say I couldn't do this without the support of my sorrow. So I do want to ask the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta to please stand. And then I know we have Donna Jones Gilbert today. The ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha have said that they're going pink goes red today. So I would like to recognize the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha, please. Thank you all so much for being here. And then my last group that I'd like to recognize, this is why we do it. And so I would like all women who are survivors of heart disease to please stand. We have a couple. And again, this is why we do it. We want to make sure that we are continuing to bring awareness, and in order to do that, we need to make sure that we know our numbers. So I say this every year, but it can't go again without saying that we want everyone to understand their risk factors. You need to know your numbers. You need to know what your blood pressure is. You need to know what your weight is. I will tell you that with all the things that we do in the City of Columbia, especially around healthy lifestyles, we want to make sure not only do people know their numbers, but know how to prevent obesity and heart disease, high blood pressure, hypertension. And so we ask that not only do you come here and dress up in your beautiful red and participate in our photo opportunity, but also know your numbers, and then make sure that your friends know their numbers. Make sure that people are understanding their numbers and understand what they need to do. So if it means to walk a little bit more, and I was coming up the steps and I said, dog, I left my Fitbit, but I wear a Fitbit usually every day, and it keeps me motivated, and it means that I'm going to park a little bit further so I can walk, then I do that. And so we want to make sure that everybody knows their numbers and then also knows the factors or what they can do to help prevent heart disease. And we do have some information before you leave on that that you can pick up and not just know that, but please share with your circles. So with that said, I did want to ask Sam and Mayor Benjamin to join me, and Valerie. Okay, and so today, February 5th, 2016, we do have a proclamation. Whereas heart disease and stroke kill 1 in 3 women in the U.S., yet 80% of cardiac events may be prevented. And whereas cardiovascular diseases and stroke kill 16 women every day in South Carolina. And whereas 90% of women have 1 or more risk factors for developing heart disease, yet only 1 in 5 American women believe that heart disease is their greatest health threat. And whereas women comprise only 24% of participants in all heart-related studies, and whereas women are less likely to call 911 for themselves when experiencing symptoms of heart disease than they are if someone else they know were having a heart attack, and whereas only 36% of African American women, 34% of Hispanic women know that heart disease is their greatest health risk compared to 65% of Caucasian women. And whereas women involved with American Heart Association's Go Red for Women movement live healthier lives, and nearly 90% have made at least one healthy behavior change. And whereas Go Red for Women encourages women to take charge of their health and schedule a well woman visit to learn about health status and risk for diseases. And whereas Go Red for Women is asking all Americans to go red by wearing red and speaking red. Go Red stands for G, get your numbers. Ask your doctor to check your blood pressure, cholesterol, and glucose. O, own your lifestyle. Stop smoking, lose weight, be physically active, and eat healthy. R, raise your voice. Advocate for more women-related research and education. E, educate your family. Make healthy food choices for you and your family. Teach your kids the importance of staying active. And D, donate. Show your support with a donation of time or money. Now, therefore, on behalf of our mayor, Stephen K. Benjamin, and all the members of Columbia City Council, today we do hereby proclaim Friday, February 5th, 2016 as Wear Red Day in the city of Columbia, and we urge all of our citizens to recognize and participate in its observance.